able to see the entire Miss North Carolina class of 2014 all together for the very first time. So I typically don't write speeches at all because I don't like reading speeches, but I just finished this one today because I didn't want to miss anything. So I hope you really take into consideration all the things that I'm about to say, because I really spent a significant amount of time to craft this speech for each and every one of you. So I like to think that one of my greatest attributes is my ability to tell profound stories, which is easy to do when you have so many great stories to tell. It's hard to pick my best tale, as I could easily point to my mother's amazing strength and the character I've built because of it. In the same vein, I could also chronicle how my extreme resourcefulness is best epitomized by the fact that I use competition as a means to win, even if I don't win. Or perhaps it's simply the epic story of how I competed on the Miss North Carolina stage, not once, not even twice, but 3 times before finally winning the crown and riding it all the way to the Miss America stage in Atlantic City and back, from the coast to the mountains of this great state and all areas in between, amassing close to 4,000 miles a month during my year of service, speaking on a platform close to my heart, and now to this very place. At this very moment where today I proudly stand before each of you as the truest testament to a message I've worked so hard to spread over the last 10 months. That is, that Miss North Carolina is attainable, relatable, and achievable. Again, allow me to reiterate the most salient point of my journey to winning the crown. It took 3 attempts on the Miss North Carolina stage before my dream was actualized. I went through periods of disappointment and self-doubt, but it forced me to come up with a new perspective and plan of attack, and to develop an attitude of relentless determination. It is an extremely unusual year in that one day I was Johna from Lumberton, and the next I was Miss North Carolina, and immediately catapulted into this insane year of travel, appearances, and a non-stop schedule. It really pushes you to the limit in what you think you are capable of, which is why I've been so proud of my growth personally and professionally. I'm not going to say it was just this year, but rather my entire journey leading up to it that really helped shape me into the woman I am today, and I'm so proud of that young woman. So while my term as Miss North Carolina and my year of endless travel, promotion, and goodwill are coming to a triumphant end, I am absolutely thrilled that in roughly a month and a half, some deserving young woman currently sitting before me right now will have the distinct honor of joining the coveted Miss North Carolina sisterhood. As such, I have just a few of my personal secrets to success that I'd like to impart with all of you as it relates to preparing for Miss North Carolina. First, I want to emphasize something that most people do not realize about competing for Miss North Carolina, and that is we are all essentially athletes. It's just as mental as it is physical. Most onlookers think it's all about how you look, but having been on the inside, let me tell you that how you think and how you act is equally important. At this level of competition, every one of you is gorgeous in your own right and at your peak physical condition. So on stage, each of you can be just as beautiful as the next. However, where the judges select the winner is the interview. Remember this. A magnetic personality and inner beauty takes you much farther than just having the prettiest face or best wardrobe. The second piece of advice I want to offer each of you concerns the concept and practice of motivation. Never ever lose sight of why you are doing this. As a way of consistently reminding myself of my reasoning for persisting ever onward in the face of defeat and disappointment, I wrote in my journal all the reasons why I wanted this job every day. I would write that I wanted to do the work of Miss North Carolina. I would write all of the reasons why I could do the work of Miss North Carolina. And I would list all of the tools I had been given to do the work of Miss North Carolina. I would jot all of those things down, my own personal way of depositing my thoughts and plans into a safe place to which I could always return and find them if I ever needed to be reminded of why I was traveling on this particular journey. All of those thoughts were absolutely positive. I had no room for negative thoughts, nor did I have the time to second guess my preparedness or myself. The more that you focus on the work that comes with this title, the more prepared you'll be for the title itself. After all, the best way to get a job is to already be doing the job in your daily life. Now I'm going to share with each of you my interview secret weapon, and I highly recommend that you employ it as effectively as possible during your own personal interview with the judges. Say what's on your mind, and not what you think the judges want to hear. What the judges care about is whether you can articulate your feelings and support them with the courage of your convictions. Doing both of the aforementioned things eloquently and without coming across as offensive. I can guarantee you that standing up for an issue about which you are passionate will be one of the things that sets you apart from other contestants. So many girls make the mistake of simply wanting to blend in by providing the most politically correct statement on an issue, as opposed to actually confidently voicing their own opinion in a way that doesn't antagonize those who may view the situation differently. I cannot also stress how important it is that you actually love your talent piece. Seriously, finding that one special piece you can sell, finding that one incredible piece that you fall in love with. It makes it all the difference when you're performing it on stage with all eyes on you. Now, my advice for gown competition is quite simple. Think pretty thoughts. By that, I mean that you should reflect on all of the wonderful and breathtaking and elegant aspects of every movie you've ever watched, or every movie star you've ever wanted to emulate. Think Breakfast at Tiffany's and walking off stage right into Prince Charming. Lastly, I want each of you to make the promise to stay true to who you are, what you believe, and to always trust your gut. Sadly, though this is the most important piece of advice that I can provide, it's rather easy advice to give and much harder advice to live. Our decisions are not made in a vacuum, as they impact everyone around us. And I'm all too aware of the issues that arise when we are without the support of friends and loved ones, which makes the unsafe option an even harder path to take. Nevertheless, as idealistic as it may sound, being courageous and honest with oneself will always pay off. And focusing on your vision and gut instinct will always outweigh the benefits of conforming. As children, we were fearless and resilient. If we fell down, we simply cried for a bit, and then literally leap up and continue to run despite the bloodied knees and scraped elbows. I often wonder where this boldness and confidence embodied in our youth goes. You know, the way a child can walk into a room like they are the epicenter of the universe and say what everyone is thinking. Or how when you ask a 6-year-old what they want to be when they grow up, and they emphatically respond, a doctor, a singer, an artist, a pilot, with such self-belief and determination in their eyes that you are forced to also believe they will achieve their dream. Then I realized that life happens. We get chipped away, we discover disappointment, we realize things often don't work out the way we would like them to work out, which causes us to falsely conclude that our childhood dreams were only dreams and were never actually possible. Somewhere along the road from childhood to adolescence, someone tells us that we're not good enough. or that we don't have the capacity to achieve something we once believed to be within our reach. And instead of reaching for the things that at one point we believed with all of our might we were destined to achieve, we begin to settle. But I'm here to challenge each and every one of you to fight the urge to settle and remain complacent. If winning the title of Miss North Carolina is something you want more than anything else, do not allow yourself to become stagnant. Choose to throw your now twisted and jaded views and ideas out the window and find what makes you brilliant. Choose to grasp the truth that, irrespective of the opinions of those around you, and in spite of what you have been told and the things you've been through, within you resides the potential and the capacity for greatness. As you all leave here tonight, I want you to keep in mind that all of the responsibilities that come with winning the crown and the title of Miss North Carolina, the greatest is to advocate the right ideas about the organization and to help others realize that it is not simply about one night and winning a crown. It's about a year of service and serving others. It's about providing young women with the resources to further their education and advance their careers. And to a young girl, understanding that and learning the true meaning of this organization, more than just preparing for the competition, will be so much more beneficial in the long run. I never had a long-term professional pageant coach. I simply took voice lessons, stayed active on the intramural soccer fields at NC State, and immersed myself in both my work with literacy education and in a diverse range of other activities on campus as a student and a leader. However, I've always been passionate about shattering the glass ceiling and promoting women in leadership and business. And this is the key. Winning the crown requires only two fundamental things: a true passion for service and an unyielding resolve to never give up. Yet so many girls continue to get so wrapped up in the minutiae of the pageant's phases of competition, which is a recipe of disaster. Instead, winning requires that you understand and accept whom you are as a person now, and that you commit to becoming the person you want to be in the immediate future. If you want to succeed on the Miss North Carolina stage and beyond, you must expand your horizons beyond even your wildest dreams. You must be well-rounded, well-versed, and well-spoken. You must be a virtuous woman with a compassionate heart and a wealth of experiences. I've spent the last 10 months striving to be a Miss North Carolina that people can observe and then genuinely say that while they were struck by my attractiveness as a young woman, they were more impressed by my quotability, my toughness, my faith, and my ambition. There are young people and young girls all across this state that are looking for someone to be a light in the darkness. They are looking for someone they can look up to and about whom they can feel proud of. Proper preparation for Miss North Carolina should, in fact, be extremely challenging, but the return on the investment is wonderfully rewarding and full of blessings. You don't have to be perfect every step of the way. Thankfully, in this culture where women strive for perfection, and in turn, the media displays this image of what a perfect woman should be, the Miss America program seeks to embody the morals and values of what a young woman should represent. So prepare thoroughly, never forget what the program stands for. Be yourself, be real, and don't be afraid to embrace your flaws. Because both the judges and the citizens of this great state can understand and respect the reality of a young woman who has flaws more so than a young woman who strives for imperfect perfection. Remember, life is not a dress rehearsal, so be audacious and bold in the moments when it matters most. Thank you.